In an age of social media influencers and selfies, it seems society has never placed more importance on how we look. White teeth, clear skin, beautiful hair. But what if you don't fit the stereotype? What if you don't have any hair at all?
Alopecia areata.
It's an autoimmune disease that causes hair loss called alopecia.
It's the autoimmune disease that causes people to lose their hair.
The biggest night in Hollywood, the Academy Awards show had an unscripted fight that stunned audience members. It started when Chris Rock made a joke on stage about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head. Now, she has alopecia.
And I'm gonna tell you, it was terrifying when it first started. You know, I was in the shower one day and then just handfuls of hair.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? Oh, wow.
My behavior was unacceptable.
The infamous slap at last month's Oscars is shining new light on alopecia. Jada Pinkett Smith is one of millions of Americans who live with the condition that causes sudden hair loss.
There's an uptick in the number of patients who've been suffering in silence.
This is really significant. About 300,000 people in this country have severe alopecia.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm Taylor Daisy Hoyle. People call me TD.
My name is Dominic and I am Taylor Daisy's dad.
Hello. So my name is Camilla and I am Taylor Daisy's mummy.
I'm Grace. My name's Hannah. So I met TD last year. I've been at Russell for 7 years and I've known TD for that long as well.
I'm 17 years old. I'm a student at Russell School. I study drama, psychology and business, and I have alopecia. When did I first notice my hair falling out? I was actually in here. It was in January, and then I just come back from like a really windy day at school, and then I was like to my mum, "Oh, can you measure me?" I went to turn around in my wardrobe door, and then she was like, "TD, like, what's happened there?" And I was like, "What do you mean?"
And what was your initial reaction to seeing Taylor Daisy's hair loss?
It's a weird one really. So I remember Camilla just saying to me one day as she was brushing her hair at the back that there was like a very small sort of gap and you could see the skin, and I didn't think anything of it. So to see it start coming out was really upsetting, but I think what made it okay is that she was just really brave throughout.
And what was your initial reaction to seeing Taylor Daisy's hair loss?
Well, I first spotted it in her bedroom. She was chattering away and she turned round to go into her bathroom and I saw a little tiny patch about this big. My initial reaction, I thought she'd itched her head with the shaver.
And then she said, like, I've got like a little patch of hair missing. And I was like, what? And then she asked me if I accidentally like itched my head when I was shaving in the shower. That's how much she trusted me. So that's what she thought I did, but I didn't. So yeah, that's when I first noticed it falling out.
I didn't see the actual hair at first, but I knew she was wearing wigs because Holly told me. I knew that it was being lost. I guess I was kind of like more concerned for TD. Like for me, it wasn't a big deal because like I just act normal, like I didn't really mind.
Did you know what alopecia was before meeting TD?
I didn't actually. I never actually heard of the condition. I knew you could get conditions where your hair falls out, but I didn't know what it was. People online have it, and like athletes, and they spoke out about it, but like I've never really considered it being like a thing to like happen to me or to my friends, so it became very real when TD had it.
And how did you feel about that?
Just really confused, because at first I didn't even think about alopecia. I just thought, because whenever you think of kind of hair falling out, you go straight to cancer, and I know I don't have cancer, but that's what I kind of thought. I was like oh, I was just so scared. Even though you could barely see it, even though it was underneath my hair, I felt so self-conscious that whenever I was walking around school, everyone behind me was like laughing and could see it, like, oh look, she's got a bald patch, but you couldn't even see it.
And that's when I thought, oh dear, I don't think this is very good. And that's when I rang the doctors straight away and we got in the next day. And yeah, and that was that. So I didn't really know what to really think at that point, but he obviously told us it was alopecia and that it wouldn't probably get any worse than that little tiny patch.
And then it just started to spread and started to spread, and it was just heartbreaking, really. She's like, my daughter's like my little princess, and she's always had such long, beautiful hair. So to see it start coming out was really upsetting.
It did get worse.
And how did that affect you?
It was really hard. It was very, very hard in the fact that because it was at the back of Taylor Daisy's hair, she couldn't see it. She kept saying to me, you know, at night, we had cream that we had to put on, and she'd say to me each week, you know, is it getting any bigger? What's it like? And I could see it was getting bigger, but Taylor Daisy couldn't. Kept saying, it's fine, it's okay, don't worry, it's getting a little bit bigger maybe, blah, blah, blah. And it was only as things kind of got worse and patches were coming at the front and things like that, that Taylor Daisy obviously then kind of was like, oh. But as a mummy, I suppose I've been very, 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 very proud of TD, of how she's reacted to it. She's just been an absolute superstar.
So it started with a bald patch about the size of a small coin just at the back of my head, and then it started like doubling in size, and then more patches started growing, and then eventually it just got to the point where it was everywhere. I had a sort of mohawk going on. It was like just hair there and then like nowhere else. So I thought, yeah, I'm sick of this mohawk, I've had enough. So I just thought I'd shave the rest of it off. And now it's growing back a bit, as you can see, quite a lot.
When your hair fully went, did you come to terms with it, or?
Yeah.
And how long did that take?
Obviously I got a wig, as you can see, and I used to wear that all the time at school, but then it got to the point where I didn't really see a reason for me wearing it. I thought, so what if people see like my hair and how it is? So what? So I just started going without my wig at school, and then I got more comfortable, and I did come to terms with it. But I preferred it much more after I shaved it off because I just thought it looked really cool.
Have you got any stories about TD relating to hair loss?
I think I was like the second person outside of her family to know, so I kind of felt like I had a responsibility to just make sure she was okay. Like throughout the day I'd kind of pull her over and say like, are you doing okay? And I knew she was getting support from her teacher, so I was just making sure like, oh, did your teacher speak to you today? First time I saw her without wigs on, it was when she was running 100 metres, and I remember seeing her without the wig, and I was so proud of her, and she just running along. I was like, oh, TD, well done.
I think in terms of stories, I think the most uplifting one was she kind of said when it came to her 17th birthday, she kept saying she wanted it to have it shaved off, and we weren't quite sure whether it was the right thing to do or not because we didn't want to make things worse. And she just said on her birthday that she wanted to shave it all off. So we booked her in at a proper hairdresser's, and it was a lovely moment, really. It was quite empowering. I remember she's got this picture that Camilla took where she's going like that, and she's beaming from, it gets me a bit upset, she's kind of beaming from ear to ear with a smile. And she just looks beautiful, you know. With or without her hair, she just looks beautiful. That was the moment that I really thought, yeah, this will be fine. Even if it doesn't come back, she's just gorgeous.
We talk a lot about this issue. Luckily, fingers crossed, after several trips to the doctors and continual applications of medication and taking iron supplements, she is starting to get little bits of growth back, which is amazing. But supporting her kind of mentally and making sure that she's happy, she's unbelievable. She kind of has never cried over this. She's been absolutely as strong as an ox. I've cried, she's been absolutely, you know, owning it, I guess. But we have giggles, and I think sometimes that's probably one of the best things, really, because we've giggled our way through this, and we're positive, and we keep saying, you know, it's going to come back. Your hair's coming back, and it is coming back.
If you could describe Taylor Daisy in one word, what would it be?
Special. Brilliant.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
If I were to describe myself with one word, it would be resilient.
Nice. Okay, well done. Right, nice. It's a wrap.
This is ace. Oh God.
What advice would you give to someone else who has been diagnosed with alopecia?
Just to own it. I think there's no point trying to hide it. I think it's who you are, and I think you just need to embrace it and show everyone, like, yeah, this is me. As hard as it can be confident with it.
Okay, nice. Well done. Well done. Yay.
What's up, guys?
Oh my god, I'm so
That was so cool.